Hi, this is He-Man 1980, also known as Jacked Grandpa, personally. This is my first fitness video, and the whole point of this really is to just educate. I'd love to educate. So I have done many things, from endurance sports like long distance running and down into body weight, around 160 on a 6'2" frame. Right now I'm 245. I'm sitting probably around, I don't know, body fat wise, couldn't even tell you, probably between 12 and 14, 15% maybe. I was bulking for a while back and got up to a pretty decent body weight. I managed to get up to the 260s, 264, and thought that was pretty amazing. Didn't really like the way I felt at that size, and this is going to be just showing a lack of production slash, I don't even know what I'm looking for word-wise here, but a huge reduction in capacity. That's what it is. And for example, on this exercise, I was doing 125 pounds, which is 5 of these 25-pound plates, and hitting rep ranges, maybe like 20-ish, and you'll see the focus on this and why those reps are not like ridiculously high. So the length and position of the muscles are what we're going to work on and focus on here. If we're going for size and flexibility, right? So essentially, all we're doing is stretching the muscle under load. This is working specifically the soleus muscle that's deep to the calf or the gastroc. So you can see on the outside of my calf here, I think that's in video. So this is the gastroc on the outside, and this muscle you can see sticking out on the side here is actually deep to this. And it also assists in plantar flexion of the ankle and knee stability as well. Now, let's loosen this up a bit. I have injured my Achilles on this very machine before, and what had happened is I took it to its weak position at failure and had to push it to get it up onto the safety. So what I do now, personal note, and I would advise others if you're alone, get this down into a stretched position. Okay, like get it down there so that you only have to come up a little bit to get this to clear. All right, so here we go. Set number 1 of what'll be a relationship builder between you and I. So focusing on the length. So we want to think about this resistance taking us down, getting a good stretch right there. I feel the stretch pretty well. And I lean forward on this particular machine to add resistance because it is only, boy, I'm losing my words here. You're gonna have to bear with me. Its access point is here. Like if we're on a teeter-totter and the lever or the arm is coming out here from behind our butt, all the way out, and then we stack weight on that to add resistance, and our body is part of that resistance. So the further I lean forward, the more, and I can feel that really well, resistance I am fighting. Okay, so let's talk about I don't know what rep I'm on, I'll count after I review the video, it doesn't really matter. And you'll learn that reps are great for keeping a metric that we can build upon or know an absolute number. However, muscles don't know what 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on are. All our muscles understand is time under the load or the tension, and I'm sure many of you have heard that preached, and if not, welcome to the club. It is a great place to train from. It's more time under this load and the tension. So I can go up higher. This is really a weak spot. I mean, I think you can come up here and maybe benefit something out of that. But I wouldn't spend a lot of time up there. Spend more time down here fighting. And the reason why I say is there are studies. I don't know the citing for those right now. But the studies showed that, I'm getting tired now, between the group that was doing full range of motion. So like all the way up, all the way down, all the way up and so forth. Versus the group that just stayed down here in a stretch at the bottom, or working a little bit up but staying down stretch like I'm kind of doing. Versus the group that was up top in the weak position doing them. The ones that, it's getting pretty tuckered out. The ones that have, and it should feel just smoked, like, oh, this feels smoked. Ones that had the greater output in size, if that's the term I'd use, were the ones that stayed in that lengthened position for just a long time under load, resisting it. Now, again, this is just me educating. And as far as how many sets do you do? Well, that's an arguable question amongst many. So we can think about how oftentimes we'll do something just because it's awesome to do a bunch of, or we want to be able to have a little clout or bragging rights in that, for example. In medication, would we take more because a little is better? No. Why? Because it's going to have a detrimental effect if we do. So look at it like this. Try one set. Okay, like warm up a little bit to whatever you're doing, just a little bit. Don't pre-exhaust it to death. But warm that position up for like maybe a set, building up the weight till you're like, that's a weight I can handle for some time. And then rest for a little bit. And then go into that set and really get it. Get it till you're like, and I can barely move this. And then put it away. When you do that, what you're doing is sending a signal to the tissue that's new. It hasn't felt that much time under that kind of a load in that position. When you rest this, now I'm going to talk about my programming as we do this together. And there's a lot of ways you can program. This one here is going to be if I recall, it was a 12-day program with 4 days on and 1 rest day in between. Or was it 3? I think it's 3 on. Well, we'll work out the specifics. But by the time I came back to the exercise, is what I'm trying to get at, we were rested. I was very rested and ready to produce an effort that was equal, minimally, but also surpass what I had achieved the previous time. It's measurable. You're thinking about just keeping your pace the same, the resistance the same, until you're ready to progress it. Well, let's say I did 20-ish reps there, I don't know. And some of those were explanation reps, but whatever, I worked it to failure. I feel, as I'm walking right now, pretty stimulated in that group, the Soleus muscle. And in the mirror, I got a pretty good pump on that guy. I mean, he's sticking out there pretty well from the side. So the key here is measurable. Now, when we pick an exercise, why do we pick the exercise? I'll explain a little bit. There's a lot of little nuances to this, but more specifically, let's think, can I get a good stretch in the muscle belly? Like, do I really feel the stretch in that muscle group? Like, for example, my chest. If I'm taking this and pulling it to the side here, a lot of us might grab onto something and pull it. You can see the stretch on the tissue. Okay, yeah, I can feel the stretch. Now, secondly, is the movement smooth? Do I feel good in the joint action? Does it actually feel like it should feel? We don't want to feel like every time moving a shoulder, for example, see people doing a press for the shoulder with dumbbells, okay? So they're working this delt muscle right here. You can see the separation from my chest to that delt, and they're pressing away. Well, a lot of people come out and open it like this. As soon as they do that, they think it's supposed to be this big T motion. We're really putting a lot of stress on this joint. Coming in here, puts it right on it like it's supposed to. We'll talk about that if we get into pressing. I don't do a lot of presses overhead. There's really no reason to. And I might lose you on that, and that's fine. I just know the facts. But the facts are this. Spending that time under that tension, finding a smooth joint action, as we're just talking about. Now, thirdly, the big deal is it basic, or as far as the progression? Are the progressions simplistic, easy? If those three things really line up, can I get a good stretch? Does the joint action feel good? And then, are the progressions easy or simplistic? You've got a winner of an exercise. Take that exercise and run with it for a few weeks. Give it at least 3 to 4. I mean, when I say 3, just kind of throw that to the side. 4 weeks minimally, but up towards 8. Do the same thing. Measure it. How many times? How many sets or reps? Maybe start off with that. Like I say, start off with 1 set. Get it to exhaustion, and then let it rest. Move on to the next exercise. Keep your workouts short, sweet, to the point. I mean, sure, be friendly with your gym neighbors. Help a guy out when they need him, or gal. Help somebody out. And just, be part of the community, but get in there and get out of there, essentially. I've got my own studio, Inspired Fitness. I love it here. And I can get in here and get a workout in 35 to 45 minutes. A full group, like legs, for example. The biggest part is the rest, and kind of measuring off how much stress can I take before I capsize or bonk or whatever you want to call it. I see people training legs to death. There are stats on what is optimal. I know that some people argue that Mike Menser, his ideas were crazy. 1 set and done. There's a lot of truth to that, a whole lot of truth to that. I've done everything from massive rep training, and we're talking hitting those set training of like 6 sets per group, everything. I'd go just balls to the wall and end up with pain in my joints, my tendons, my shoulders, all the things that many of us feel when we're training and we're like, man, this hurts. My shoulder, why is that bugging me? Yeah, there's reasons for that. Your body's talking. So I have found that not over asking, not this like, I'm going to just do a max rep set and just, that's how I'm going to grow. You want to feel that muscle. You want to feel it. So when I'm talking about that stretch, feel the stretch. For example, today I was dropping my heel way, way, way back. Down, 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 down. Get that stretch on the belly and then come up. Get the stretch. I don't even think, based on some studies, that you have to move up and down on the action. The stretch under tension is what the muscles respond to as far as lengthening and growing, or storage capacity, if you will. And some of the stuff we'll talk about some more. I'll review this video again. Like I said, it's my first. I'm not the best on camera. I don't practice a lot. I'm just kind of getting into this stuff. I've done a few unboxing of bots, as you can see in the background. I like transformers of all various types, and yeah, I just enjoy them. So that's my video experience the last few weeks. But outside of that, this is my first on fitness. I hope you enjoy. Today we worked the Soleus. The next exercise is going to be a prone hamstring curl, and prone meaning face down. All right, cheers.